But let's bring you our top story here on Super 6. And let's be clear that this by far is the biggest story of the week coming in from the southern states. It's a wonder nobody else is talking about what's happening in Kerala. In the most worshipped temple in the state, in Sabarimala, a gold loot has been unearthed. 4 kilos mysteriously disappeared. And it hasn't happened right now. It's been happening for years under the nose of the authorities. And yet nothing has been done. The Travancore Devaswam Board, TDD, is facing fire over allegations of theft of gold received as offerings at Sabarimala. And the corruption is so brazen that there was even an attempt by the board to pass off gold cladding as copper plates. And so maybe that was another attempt to cover up what happened. Gold was even handed over to a sponsor who's been giving one version after another over why. And imagine this, there's been zero documentation of the gold that's actually been offered to the temple, so we don't really know how much was it, though the Kerala High Court has now finally taken cognizance. But the question everyone's asking is, where have these 4 kilos of gold gone? Well, essentially, here's what we know. 12 copper plates, which is actually gold, by the way, weighing a total of 42.8 kgs. And covering the Dwarapalikas, which are the idols outside the sanctum usually, these were removed. They were entrusted to one of the sponsors, Unni Krishnan, who's a Bengaluru-based businessman. He was given the task of gold plating the idols in 2019. The Kerala High Court has found that the items returned after renovation weighed only 38.2 kilos. So that difference there, a reduction of 4.54 kilos, ignored by the Devaswam Board. Remember the timeline. What I've spoken about, this happened in 2019. And today is when we found out about it. And this has led to questions about a cover-up and lapses. Cover-up one is clearly that gold plates were referred to as copper plates. Idols were handed over to a sponsor, and that, by the way, is completely unethical. This is work of gold plating that should be done by the Devaswam Board. Why was it handed over to a sponsor based in Bengaluru? And there was no record whatsoever made of the gold that was actually offered. The Devaswam Board too didn't even bother checking the weight of these idols after renovation. There's a 4 kilo difference, and they claim they had no idea whatsoever.
അപ്പോൾ അതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം അന്വേഷണ സമിതി വിലയിരുത്തി കാര്യങ്ങൾ പരിശോധിച്ച് കുറ്റക്കാർക്കെതിരെ നടപടി എടുക്കട്ടെ. അതിനുശേഷം തുടർന്നുള്ള നടപടികൾ കൂടുതൽ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥർ വല്ലതും ഇതിൽ പെട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ, റിട്ടയർഡായ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥർക്കെതിരെ എന്താണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, അതൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് ആ സമയത്ത് തീരുമാനിക്കാം.
We have been demonstrating in the assembly for the last 3 days, demanding the resignation of the Devaswam minister and the expulsion of the Devaswam board members. It is very clear from the High Court verdict that the Dwarapalika sculpture in Sabarimala was sold to a millionaire, and their doors also were taken away. Now there are very serious allegations. So we are demanding the resignation of the minister and the expulsion of the Devaswam board members.
2 ministers, Muhammad Riyas and Saji Charian, they were coming into the well and creating the problem. It was unprecedented, which is not at all good for the parliamentary democracy, and I condemn their activities.
ബഹുമാന്യ സ്പീക്കർ സഭ നിർത്തിവെച്ച് പ്രതിപക്ഷത്തോട് സംസാരിക്കേണ്ടതായിരുന്നു ഈ വിഷയത്തെക്കുറിച്ച്. ഇന്നലെയും മിനിയാന്നും ഒക്കെ അത് ചെയ്യാമായിരുന്നു, ഇന്നത് ചെയ്യാമായിരുന്നു. എന്നിട്ട് ഇവിടെ നടന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് എന്താണ്? അതിനൊരു സുതാര്യത വരുത്താനാണ് ഗവൺമെൻറ് നോക്കേണ്ടിയിരുന്നത്. അങ്ങനൊരു ചിന്തയെ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിനെ അലട്ടുന്നില്ല. ആ വഴിക്ക് യാതൊരു വിശദീകരണവും വരുന്നില്ല. മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി സംസാരിക്കുന്നില്ല, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ മന്ത്രിമാർ സംസാരിക്കുന്നില്ല.
Being an opposition party, it is only natural for them to oppose all the steps taken by the government as well as the Devaswam board. So it's nothing but politics, that's all. See, factually their allegations are incorrect.